we're back to finish up the kitchen. Time to tackle the countertops, small appliances, and dining tables. Wipe down all small appliances and items on the counters and buff them shiny. Add warm to hot water and 2 to 3 drops of Dr. Bronner soap into a small bucket. Then scrub countertops, the backsplash, and other surfaces using a chore boy. Make sure to move items and clean behind, around, and underneath them, ensuring the entire surface is clean. When you're done wet scrubbing, make sure countertops and surfaces are clean and dry. If countertops are still streaky after buffing dry, check to see if clients have granite cleaner. Use this on granite surfaces to buff if needed. Please note, always run your fingers over the countertops after cleaning to make sure you aren't leaving a soapy or chalky residue. It should feel smooth and clear. If there are any high-top chairs or other dining chairs, remove any pet hair from the bottoms of the legs by hand. Then wipe down the seats and backs. Finally, dust the bottom rungs on the chairs. We now move on to working below the counters. Clean the lower cupboard fronts. Wipe the handles, and wipe down the front, sides, and top of any exposed trash cans. If there are dishes in the sink, move them out of the sink. Use pink stuff and chore boy to scrub the entire surface of the sink. The only time not to use pink stuff is if the sink or fixtures are made of brushed metal. In this case, test a very small area and see if it affects the finish. Use detail brushes to scrub around the fixtures and around the edges of the drains. Note, if you are working with a white ceramic sink, you can also use the bath stone on marks. Do not use the bath stone on any other kind of sink. Magic erasers work well on these too. Wipe the sink clean and dry. If it still has streaks or looks muddled instead of shiny, use a mostly dry rag with a little bit of pink stuff. Slightly wet to activate it. Do a once-over to polish up the sink until it's shiny. If there were dishes in the sink to begin with, move them back into the sink. If the sink is just stuffed full of dishes, take a photo and leave a note saying you couldn't get to that side of the sink due to all the dishes. But still, clean around it and wipe the faucet handles and edges. And if one side is open, clean that side. The last area to clean in the kitchen is the floor. Use the vacuum to pick up all food and debris on the floor. Make sure to use the brush attachment to get corners and edges. You'll likely need to go over certain areas more than 1 or even 2 times in a kitchen. If there are sticky spots or buildup from food, wipe this by hand. The hard plastic scraper tool is great for the kitchen. Use it on any hard-to-remove spills that have dried onto the floor or counter. Then, go through and mop the floors. You'll almost always need to clean the edges and baseboards of the floors by hand. Make sure to vacuum and shake out all rugs and put them back when the floor is clean and dry. Finally, check to see if you missed anything. Make sure everything is where it should be, nice and tidy. Review each area one last time. Start up high and check to see there are no cobwebs that were missed in the ceiling or above the cabinetry. Inspect the stove, fridge, and other appliances. Run your finger over the counter to check for residue. Are there any spots to touch up on the lower cabinets and drawers? Is the sink spotless? And lastly, check the floor for any remaining debris. You are now done with the kitchen. Take a quick breath and be sure that as you work, you drink plenty of water. Move on to the rest of the house next.